then the deaf people can be successful. Thank you.
Okay. Nickson Kakiri, Ashura mentions the challenges. I mean, and the challenges here are two-leveled or double-edged, more or less. You have the first challenge, which is now, first, you have impaired hearing, and then two, once you have no access to education for that matter, then that becomes a complicated situation all over. As the chairperson of the Kenya National Association of the Deaf, how do you pick these challenges up for address by the relevant authorities?
Thank you. Good question. So far, since its establishment in the year 1987, the Kenya National Association of the Deaf has been fighting for the recognition and acceptance of sign language. That one has been well achieved, courtesy of the 2010 Constitution that was promulgated. Ashura quoted Article 7, to be specific, Article 7(3)(b). We also have Article 54, Article 54C, that talks about accessibility formats through sign language to access information. We have Article 120 that talks about sign language as an official business language in the Kenyan legislature. So right now, we can see that the implementation of those various laws still require, Parliament enacting other laws that will assist in implementing, that will guide towards implementation of those various articles effectively. That's how we came up with the Kenya Sign Language Bill, at least to assist the general public to have an understanding of how we are going to implement or operationalize it. Since its establishment, Kenya National Association, during that time, we'd never had sign language in school. So deaf students were taught through oral methods. But in the year 1985, we had sign language was first introduced in schools. We had the Machakos School, the deaf there. We were doing exams. So we were seeing how people can learn through sign language, the deaf people can learn through sign language. And then we had other schools that were still using communication through the oral means. So progressively, we at least identified the government which assisted us in setting up the sign language regulations. And then later on, we came in the year 1990, we started now sign language. Official sign language was now in words. We had like vocabularies that were there. So we can see the journey has been long, but it also gave us a way to have a perspective of seeing the diversity, because some people believe that if we use signed exact English, it will help the deaf children to learn English, forgetting the fact that the education system itself, people are taught using their mother tongue. The deaf people did not have a mother tongue. Their mother tongue was Kenyan Sign Language. So we found that whenever they were taught in Kisii, in Luo Nyanza, in Kikuyu regions, they were using their own languages as a first foundation language, like in Kenyan Sign Language. So 90% of deaf children are born out of hearing families. Most of the members of the hearing families cannot use sign language. And sign language is a foundational language, and they get it very late, at a delayed stage. So when they go to school, the teachers who teach in schools for the deaf sometimes are somehow not well prepared. So some efforts have been there. However, we really need to improve more. Okay. And as an association, our objective is to ensure that the KSL, because the KSL bill is very important for us, it will help us to attain full accessibility, especially schools and education will improve. But currently, if if you happen to meet Ashura outside, this beautiful girl, how will you communicate with them? Must you onboard an interpreter? So then you'll decide to go and learn sign language. That is what we are pushing for, so that Kenyans can take it upon themselves to learn sign language. Even children, from the time they are young up to adulthood, they can interact freely with the deaf.
Okay. Leonida Tausi, now we'll pick up on what Nickson had said.